Greetings, everybody. Welcome to Mystics Outlook. Uh, had a tough one today. The first road trip of the year. Take on the Indiana Fever. It's kind of like a home and home, not a home and home, but like a two-game road trip essentially, where they play the Fever. They play the Fever today, then they play them again on Tuesday. Today, Indiana got their first win of the year, 89-77 victory over the Washington Mystics. They deserved every bit of it. So Ray, we'll start with you. Just want to hear your initial thoughts on Indiana's winning, Washington falling in their first road test of the year.
Yeah, that hot shooting from the other night didn't travel. They kind of reverted back to the what we saw the first two games of the season, and just pretty much relying heavily on Tina Charles for a bulk of the offense. I know they're gonna play through her, but they gotta find, a consistent second source of offense outside of her because teams are gonna double her and live with it. And that's just a lot for her to be asked to carry. When there's other people capable on this team, they just haven't found a groove yet. Of course, we saw Maisha return today, but she's not going to be at top form right away. Like she hasn't even practiced. So, but nevertheless, it's good to see her back. So things will start rounding out for them in terms of getting personnel, and eventually Elaine is going to come back as well. But like we've been saying on all the shows so far, in the interim, they got to find a way to get ones in the win column. You can't just you can't just tread water and lose or be subpar until you get your big dog back. That's not how things work. And I know that's not the environment that Coach C cultivates. So I know that they're going to make some adjustments and do some different things. Like we talked about the lineup being shuffled. We saw Erica McCall get the start today, which is well deserved. She's been putting in work. A couple games ago, Tina Charles said she's probably been the most consistent player in her role on the team. So it's good to see her get rewarded. Ariel Atkins woke up a little bit offensively, but it just wasn't enough to overcome what Indiana was doing because they were on a roll, man. That third quarter, that's pretty much what closed up shop on this one. They outscored them 27-13. And with the way the Mystics were shooting, they weren't able to climb out that hole. And defensively as well, they haven't looked as sharp as predicted. Man, they just got a lot to work through right now. It's still early, but 32 games creep up on you quick. So they got to figure it out fast. And, they had some expectations coming into the season. Like it's different when, when you actually get to that mountaintop. They won it in 2019. Last year they dealt with a lot, but, teams were treating them how NBA teams was treating the Warriors. Like, we don't care y'all injured. We gonna get back, because 2019 they was running through folks. So and that's going to continue this year because now, they're going to get everybody back, and their real title defense begins, so to speak. Teams not having that, man. They going to be ready to come at your neck every game. So they got to be prepared for that. But yeah, man, another tough one. They're 1-3. Hopefully they can start stringing some wins together and get some consistency. I'm anxious to see how they respond since they got the same team in a couple days. To try to offset what Indiana did tonight. But yeah, it's going to be interesting, man. But we know this is a team that fights. Given what the kind of season they had last year and was still able to scrap their way into the playoffs. So yeah, man, I'm not worried yet, but yeah, they got to turn this around quickly.
All right, I'll share a couple things from Coach T in the post-game presser for passing along to Cardell. I do know that we can't have 14 turnovers that lead to 20 points. Obviously, we didn't shoot the ball well. A lot of what we'll do between now and Tuesday is be self-critical on film. We put them at the free throw line. They had 4 stars in double figures. They spread it out. I thought their post players did terrific, and their guards did a good job of facilitating. Their start, for lack of a better term, kind of put us on our heels a little bit. McCown was getting too deep in the paint, so he started overreacting a bit. But Cardell, your thoughts on the Mystics today, and then I'll chime in.
Yeah, I think McCall and her presence kind of like what Coach T said. It, it made the Mystics go to Plan B before they really executed Plan A. If that makes sense, you know what I mean. Like you can't. Sometimes you just gotta stick with it. It'll eventually work. Stick with the game plan. I feel like they didn't give the game plan enough time. You know what I'm saying? First half they were right there. What were they down 3 at the half, and then that third quarter it just they missed a couple shots and they panicked and they just fell apart. They just started, like I said, they went away from what was working, because it wasn't working at first. It can work again. You just gotta be poised and stay with it. And I think they just started. They kind of fell apart in the third, and Indiana took over. Like Atkins, look, she had a bad shooting night. She still had 16, but efficiency wasn't there. She had to deal with a lethal guard on the other end. Kelsey Mitchell, put some fouls on her. She's hard. She's a tough player to deal with, man. You know what I mean? And you're gonna win some of your battles, you're gonna lose them, but that comes with the territory when you guard the other team's best players. You know what I mean? Cloud. This, to me, this is her worst game the season so far. Not only did she hit shots, normally she'd give you assists and stuff like that, but the turnovers, she had more turnovers than assists, man. It just killed them. Like we keep saying, turnovers kill. And I think that's what deflated the Mystics in the third period. Then Tina Charles was Tina. Tina gonna be Tina. She's she's just automatic. You can pencil her in for 20 plus 10 rebounds every night. But she had her hands full dealing with McCowan. McCowan 6'7". You know what I mean? That's some monster inside. So you gotta give Tina some help. It can't always just be her. That's what we were saying before they beat the Liberty. They gotta play basketball. If Tina ain't got it in there or the McCown's is bothering her, hey, do what you do. You know what I mean? Go to work. I felt like Breland and even Daniel Robinson, even though she had high turnover rates, I felt like they gave him high production. And then the bench, 12 points for the Mystics. I think Vivian scored 11 points by herself. The bench production, that was a big difference in the game. So you didn't get any relief when the subs came in. Your starters, you were basically down to Tina Charles and hoping Atkins can hit some threes. That's a recipe for disaster. And isn't the former Mystics assistant the head coach for the Fever now?
Yes, Marianne.
So she knows their personnel very well. So she knows exactly what to tell them. This is what they want to do in these certain situations, and they were ready for them. So the Fever were better tonight. The shooting woes came back to haunt the Mystics in the third. They're gonna have to figure something out as far as they need shot making, man, because that's the only way it's gonna free up. I mean, Tina's doing her job, and she's killing to a point where a double must come. You just gotta hit open shots. You can't hit open shots. It's gonna be tough, man. But we know, like I said, we know one of the best shooters of all time is coming. But still, it's gonna take her time to get adjusted. She human too. You know what I mean? So you can't harp on that. And by the end, who knows when she's coming? So what if she come in game 10 and you like 2-8? That's a hell of a hole to climb out of, or you 3-7 or something. You see what I'm saying? Not saying I hope it is that way, but you can't wait on that. You gotta win games now. They what you said Tuesday, they got another shot at them.
Yeah, they get another chance to defeat on Tuesday.
So now you know what to expect. You just gotta be calm and just hit shots and execute, man. So Leilani Mitchell, she's been off all year from outside. That I know the size bothers her, and she's getting up there in her seasons. Let's just say that. So her speed she can't use her speed to kind of counteract her lack of size like that. Because now his size on her and they could keep up with her. So it's hard for her to even get a shot off. And I saw that with the Liberty. So, he has some adjustments he need to make, man. It is what it is, man. It's just, but it's tough to make adjustments when multiple players on your team, you count to hit shots, not hitting shots. You see what I'm saying? Then you turning the ball over and it's just the floodgates open, man. So in a sense, you kind of help the Fever beat you. So that's just my take. Bench points, turnovers, and the shooting was in third quarter, not sticking with the game plan. I felt doing it.
Yeah, I think you guys pretty much summed it all up. And And then the other thing is, we talk about margin for errors all the time. Without you having your full complement, Atkins can't afford to be off the floor. She can't afford to be in foul trouble. Neither Tina was in foul trouble a little bit too. So there was a stretch where you didn't really have both of them out there. And that coincided with the third quarter. When Indiana realized that, and they made their run, you did what you're supposed to do during that time. Cardell, you brought up Victoria Vivians. I think 9 of her 11 came in the fourth quarter. Like, they were big shots when watching. Like, we all watch enough basketball. You watch a team trying to get back, and the other team just keeps keeping them at bay. Victoria Vivians, I felt like 9 of her 11 were those shots. Washington got a bucket. Oh, then it stopped. Single digits again, 3. All right. Washington got a stop. Then they turned it over. Victoria Vivians, bucket. She was huge tonight.
So that hurt.
Yep. Like you said, so from a box score, you're like, oh, it's 11 points. Bro, all 9 of them things, I can remember them all clearly because they hurt. Every single one of them came in a moment where Washington could, like a stop there would have got them some momentum. She was like, no. One thing Coach Tebow also said, I forgot to mention, talking about Cloud, like you mentioned her having probably her worst game of the season thus far. Someone asked about like just, she's kind of animated all the time. Was he worried about it? He was just kind of like, she's used to winning and being patient right now is a new virtue that she needs. And that's something with this roster. Some of the ones that were here, they're going to have to be patient. This is not that group. And you guys have said that multiple times. That's what, Cardell, in your words, that's what made 2019 so rare. This ain't that. You're not going to be able to simulate that because those pieces that were there, they're not coming back. This is different. Whatever this group does, this is different from here on out. And that's part of the learning.
Hold on, real quick. He said she's not exercising patience.
He would like to just to be more patient with what's going on, just dealing with the ups and downs and the slow start to the season. Because I guess probably, again, I'm just speaking in there. This is not me speaking for anybody. But, I could kind of see it where you missed a year, you're trying to get back and hit the ground running. And
like it's 2019, yeah.
Yeah, and it's hard to hit the ground running because there's a gap that you missed, right? So, yeah, you're going to have to be a little bit more patient because, like we already talked about, the roles are different too. So you as a veteran point guard just got to be used to you have to exercise patience a little bit more than before because it was a veteran-laden team where the Atkins was kind of like the only kid that played during that 2019 run.
Mm-hmm.
Like kid. The rest of them have been in the league a little bit for the most part.
Yeah.
They just got to get used to it. Tina, one of the things Tina Charles said, I'm not going to say it verbatim, but she was just talking about they just got to decide, like talk about their identity. Like Cardell, you mentioned, Ray, you said as well, just be whatever it may be consistent at it. Something that Sidney Weiss also said. And Tina was like, we just got to figure out who we want to be. We want to be, do we want to be the team that did what they did to Liberty the other night or this? You got to find whoever you want to be and be that consistently. So people asked about me, Maisha, and Tina was just like, she pretty much got off the plane. She'll be fine. Give her some time to get practices and whatnot. Once she gets back out there, like obviously she's gonna help. Just like and Ariel was asked about Maisha too, essentially saying the same thing. Like they're going to have to continue to piece this together and get used to all the people that aren't the same. Like you got the new people for this year. You got some people that remember 2019, and then some of the people from 2019 that did play in 2020 aren't the same people that were in 2019 that played with those people that missed 2020. Got a lot of things to figure out, but again, Tina also wanted to say, they're professionals. There's things you need to do in the meantime to take care of business and go forward. So again, they got an opportunity on Tuesday. It's a rebound, and we'll see where that goes.
I honestly think the blueprint for them to start winning games is what they did against the Liberty. They led with their defense, and that fit their offense. I think they just got to stick with that for right now. You know what I mean? Because creating turnovers, making the other team frustrated. It led to turnover. It led to them getting out on a break and getting easy baskets, getting wide open threes, and you in the rhythm. You know what I'm saying? And that kind of catered to how they were in 2019. And she got a point, man, because in the early years with Cloud, where she couldn't shoot at all, they were patient with her. You gotta remember some youngers on the team. You gotta kind of be patient. You know what I'm saying? And they're not knocking her, man. Everybody gonna have a bad game. You see what I'm saying? So she was just, she was due. But yeah, you're right. It's like you made a good point, Wilson. She's really stuck in. It's like 2019. It's like, nah, Emma ain't over there no more. Chrissy not over here. Ariel not over here. Deladon not even here. Tiana Hawkins not coming off the bench. Latoya ain't in the mid range no more, being automatic. It's totally different, man. Like, and you know what I'm saying? And that's what we saw from day one in 2019. When we saw that, we was like, yo, this is a special team. They got a shot. Some crazy stuff. So, you know, like I said, man, we know, we all know who we waiting for to get back, but she got to be right. You know what I'm saying? Ain't no telling when she's going to get back. And Maisha, I'm pretty sure she won the championship. She took a break, a much-deserved break. You know what I'm saying? You know, you win the championship overseas, all for coming straight out from the bubble last year. Yeah, you need your body a rest, though. You know what I'm saying? So, and another good point you made, Wilson, the last time Taj played, Maisha got in only when they were up 20-25. Yeah. Last year she was in leading roles, so now, you know, it's like it's like I done grown up. I done grown up, Big Sis. You went away to college. I'm a grown woman now. Stop playing with me. Give me the ball in the post. It's different.
And that's why no one here is writing them off, because of the strides the kids made last year, right? Mm-hmm. But now you're bringing everybody together, because what helped in 2019, let's be honest, is the experience in 2018. You went to the finals, you got swept. Yeah, the result wasn't great, but the majority of that group was together that got swept going into 2019. And then you added the kids. The babies don't count. You're going to be babies no matter what. But those were the only babies. After that, you know, like, and even then for Cloud, like you guys, Carter, you mentioned being patient. She wasn't the player she is now in 2018. You know what I'm saying? That run there in 2019 got her to here. So again, I mean, let's be honest, like it's a different Atkins, it's a different Hines Allen, it's a different Cloud. Like there's a lot of different stuff. And even when EDD come back, everything that she's going through, she's talking about with the rehab and the change the way she moves and everything, there's going to be an adjustment period, not only for her personally, but her game. Like that, when you're talking about changing the way you move, just period, on and off the court, it's going to be an adjustment. It's nothing but adjustments. But like you guys said, in the meantime, you can still take care of business in the meantime. Like you said, it starts on the defensive end. Like we saw 2 minutes into the Liberty game, they set the tone defensively. In this game, Indiana threw the first haymaker. It was like McCowan was getting Shaq positioning. You know, once you get it that deep, it don't matter who on you. Unless you got somebody that same size to deal with it, it's a bucket. They threw the first punch. Washington wasn't even punch back. And again, against the Liberty, we saw that backcourt threw the first punch, and that was that. Those are the terms of engagement. And like Coach T was talking about, you know, it's different with the Liberty because they don't have the size Indiana has. And again, like they pulled off a 6'10" player off their bench today. Like,
and honestly, I think Cloud need to be more aggressive.
Yeah.
She kind of plays more like how Draymond plays, setting the table and all that. Like you said, it's like she's still trying to get everybody going. And I think at this point, you got to understand, they need to feed off you. If it ain't Atkins and Charles, they got to feed off you. Like McCall is more of a dirty work type player. So she going to get in there and get the boards and finish that way. That's how she going to get a lot of her points. You know, look, I can see her game, but I'm not sure all the way yet because she just got here. This is her second game. I know Hines Allen's going to be different. She going to be kind of like a point forward type jump because Tabal has thrown out Draymond that can score type comparisons as a role. You know, Play Song's got to get more physical. That's why she can't stay on the floor to even make an impact offensively because they throw her around, honestly. And you know, Zealous, hard-nosed veteran, whatever, that's her role. But I think Cloud need to be more aggressive because it'll open things up for everybody else. And now the defense will have to. Now we got to deal with her. We know Atkins is capable of going off. And Tina, now you at least got 3 players you can count on to put the ball on the hole, well, instead of 2 right now, because that's what it looked like Indiana was doing. We're going to focus on the 2 and dare everybody else to beat us. And then obviously Marion Stanley being there, she already know what it is. So, it's a turn. It's a thing called being too unselfish. And I feel like at times Cloud is too unselfish. She's a big point guard, get to the block, get to the high post, turn around, do what you do, shoot, be a threat. You know what I'm saying? And then that way you can kind of dictate things on your terms and do what she really want to do, which is get everybody else involved. But like I said, for the most part, for that roster, they got to play basketball. It's like too many people still trying to defer, like, man, if Tina got to, give it to her. But if not, do what you do. That's why you're there. You know what I'm saying? And I gotta think I tell my young boys out of training, I tell them sometimes you just gotta be an asshole. You know what I mean? And what I mean is don't be uncoachable. I'm not talking about be an asshole. Sometimes you gotta be an asshole. Like, coach, I hear what you're saying, but this dude or this lady disrespecting me. She like way off me trying to stay with Tina or whoever. I'm about to go to work on this plane. You know what I'm saying? Like, sometimes you just gotta be an asshole. Coach said, I don't want you taking that shot, but I know I can make that shot. Worked on it. Hit the shot. Eventually, the coach gonna be quiet.
Yep.
You see what I'm saying? It's like, all right, I got shit. You can hit that mom. She can hit that. Hey, my bad. Go ahead and do that. You know what I'm saying? It'll change your mind. So you just gotta play basketball, do what you do, man. That's all I'm saying, man. But I think they should play the same style they did with the Liberty. Let the defense set the tone and then go from there.
Yeah, and like you mentioned with Cloud, with her size, we've seen what it does when she's aggressive offensively.
Yeah.
We've seen it. It's just, and again, this is shifting roles. Like, and this is the tough part about being point guard. You gotta switch it to whatever your team needs. And right now, they need you to put pressure on teams offensively. Yep. And that's what's needed right now. When some of the firepower come back, fall back and do what you're great at. But right now, they need you to. Hey, you're a 6 foot with the potential to be a bully getting downhill. They need every bit of it right now. So again, it's a Coach T, and we will see how things go. But want to thank you guys for hanging with us. Just a reminder, as always, get over to Oohs and Ahs. It's really that simple. Oohs and Ahs Soul Food Restaurant. Right now, what's going on? Try their turkey wings, tender. Home-style wings baked to perfection. Also, don't forget, open for late night Friday and Saturdays. Order your favorites until 12 a.m. at the Georgia Avenue location and 1 a.m. at the U Street location. We will be back with Mystics Outlook Tuesday night, probably a little bit after we wrap with the Focus TV. So we'll see you guys there for that. And then don't forget, Wizards going on, everything else. Follow us all on our social media mediums. For Cardell, Ray, and myself, y'all have a great evening. Enjoy the rest of playoff basketball. And there's still more WNBA games today. Don't forget that.